Right now at noon, millions of Americans honoring those who lost their lives while serving our country. Catch the Memorial Day ceremonies happening across the region. Plus, the Portland Timbers parting ways with head coach Phil Neville. A look back on his time in Portland as the team searches for a new leader. And new at noon, Western Washington has seen yet another gray whale die along its shores. Researchers explain what may be driving them into our bays and rivers. We start with breaking news. Right now, we're learning crews have just contained an ammonia spill at Townsend Farms. Right now, some evacuations are still in place in Fairview at this hour. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Blair Best. Let's get right to Devin Haskins with the very latest on this spill and evacuations. Devin, what are you seeing?
Yeah, Blair, we're here at 238th and Sandy. Right now, Sandy is closed between 238th and 223rd. As you can see, Gresham Fire still sitting there behind me, keeping an eye on the situation. The call first came in around 7:30 this morning to Townsend Farms. It's a fruit processing plant. Again, Gresham Fire saying that it is under control. They evacuated Townsend Farms and the Amazon facility and another business nearby. They also sent out a reverse 911 call to residents in a nearby mobile home park to shelter in place. Crews say it was capped off and contained within about an hour of getting that call. One person was treated on site but declined to go to the hospital. Fire crews from Gresham and Portland Fire responded along with hazmat crews as they worked to get this under control.
Right now, we believe that it is somewhat safe. We're asking folks again to remain away from the facility for now, just while we address that remaining dissipating ammonia.
Gresham Fire says that they still do not know what caused it and are still keeping it contained. They say it should open within the next couple of hours. Back to you.
Okay, Devin, thank you. Well, we turn now to more breaking news. The Portland Timbers announcing they are mutually parting ways with head coach Phil Neville. The club made the announcement this morning after the Timbers started the season with just 4 wins through 14 matches. Neville spent 2.5 seasons with Portland, leading the team to back-to-back playoff appearances in 2024 and 2025. Team owner Merritt Paulson thanked Neville for his leadership and dedication to the club, while general manager Ned Grabavoy said results this season fell short of expectations. The Timbers say the search for a new head coach is now underway. And let's take a live look from our Seaside Sky Cam, where we've been tracking a steady band of rain on the coast that's heading our way right now. And meteorologist Rod Hill is live in the Weather Center tracking the latest. Hey, Rod.
Yeah, hi, Blair. Good afternoon to you. Here's that solid rain band. Now, it's Memorial Day, I get it, but we were blessed in that here in the valley, we have remained dry. You know, we had a lot of ceremonies at different cemeteries, including Willamette National, that began this morning. So far, so good. The rain, the back edge of it, is now about ready to clear parts of the coast. But here's where it is. It's advancing inland. Longview, you're just starting to see some rain move into your area. Hillsborough, raindrops are just outside of you as it starts to come up over the coast range. Astoria, it's still raining, and understand it has been raining up in Astoria since before 9 o'clock this morning. So this has been a good solid bit of rain. 34/100ths of an inch of rain is in the rain gauge. Here's the way Futurecast shows it. Remember the rain just outside of Hillsborough right now. This shows 1 p.m. There's the rain starting to hit I-5 in Salem, Portland, and Vancouver. And of course, earlier than that, raining up into Longview. There it is, 2 o'clock. The front comes through, it's raining, and there's 4 o'clock. The system starts to move out of our way. So we could literally have about 3 hours of steady rain potentially from around 1 to 4 p.m. So our dry time is about over. Right now it is dry, 62 in Salem. It is dry. Current temperature in the Rose City up to 67, warmer than what I had projected because we have stayed dry through the noon hour. But once the rain starts, there's 59 at 2 o'clock. There's 56 at 4 p.m. Will obviously be rain cooled. Blair, no storminess with this. Just 2 to maybe 3 hours of a good soak coming through this afternoon. Back to you.
Okay, we'll check back in with you soon, Rod. Well, to honor the service and sacrifice of those who lost their lives while serving our country, this morning F-15 fighter jets with the Oregon National Guard flew over Memorial Day at ceremonies across the region. And those jets also flew over the Vancouver barracks, where a large group gathered this morning. The event included a flag raising, a community ceremony, and a gathering with Gold Star families, veterans, and military families. We spoke with organizers who stress how we can't lose sight behind the meaning of Memorial Day.
It's important that we don't forget the sacrifices of others. As the old saying goes, freedom isn't free.
And you may have noticed that flags are at half staff today. Governor Tina Kotek making the order overnight, saying, quote, Memorial Day is a responsibility to remember the human cost of war, to honor those who never came home, and to ensure their sacrifice is never forgotten. And today, people may be hitting the water, and lifeguards are stationed around High Rocks Park in Gladstone to make sure swimmers are safe. You can also expect lifeguards at the popular swimming and diving spot on 4th of July weekend and Labor Day weekend. And this summer, you'll have to do some extra planning if you're heading to the Vancouver waterfront, because each weekend, the waterfront will be a car-free zone. Celine Stevens has the details.
This weekend was actually the first weekend that the pedestrian-friendly waterfront experience was in full swing, which started Friday at 4 p.m. and went until this morning at 5 a.m. So Vancouver's mayor says reducing vehicle access on Waterfront Way during the summer will let residents and visitors alike enjoy the area without congestion or noise and create an overall safer experience. The closure will be along Waterfront Way between Parkway Place and Esther Street from 4 p.m. Friday through 5 a.m. on Mondays, and there will also be additional closures on Main Street and West 6th Street. The city of Vancouver tested the idea with 3 weekends of piloting car-free days, which proved that less vehicle access helped deter unsafe driving behaviors. But the move has gotten mixed reactions.
Open up the road again. I mean, I feel like it feels kind of empty without the cars driving here. I feel like that's what brings waterfront here.
I think it's great. You have people walking to the parking lot and people barely stopping at the stop sign, and they rev their engines at the stop sign and do burnouts coming out of the parking lot. It's nuts. Somebody's going to get run over.
You can still access the waterfront by parking in nearby garages or surface lots, taking public transportation, biking, or even just walking. This car-free experience will continue through Labor Day weekend. In Southwest Portland, Celine Stevens, KGW News.
Well, here's a look at some national headlines this afternoon. As millions of Americans travel home today, they'll be facing the second highest Memorial Day gas prices of all time, topped only by 2022. AAA says the national average for a gallon of gas this holiday is $4.50 a gallon. A potential U.S.-Iran agreement could soon have gas costs ticking down. President Trump announced Saturday the U.S. and Iran were close to ending their conflict. And the deal would include reopening the Strait of Hormuz, where about 20% of the world's oil normally travels through. On Saturday, Secret Service agents shot and killed a person. The agency said that person approached a security checkpoint near the White House and fired at them. According to CNN, the suspect was identified as 21-year-old Nasir Best. Secret Service says Best allegedly approached a checkpoint just outside the White House complex and opened fire on officers. Secret Service agents returned fire and hit Best, who later died in the hospital. A law enforcement official said a bystander was also struck by gunfire, and they are still in the hospital this afternoon. No Secret Service agents were hurt. President Trump was inside the White House at the time of the shooting. And the number of hantavirus cases linked to the Ocean-Wide Expeditions cruise ship has risen to 12. The World Health Organization says a crew member aboard the ship tested positive for the virus while in isolation. The incubation period for hantavirus is up to 6 weeks. Since May 2nd, there have been 3 reported deaths. It is believed the first person to contract the disease may have been exposed to rodents during bird watching. The World Health Organization is monitoring 600 contacts across 30 countries this afternoon.